got my head in the clouds and my feet on the ground. I got big dreams.
Oh, we got big dreams here at the Genius Lab. Toby here, your self-empowerment trainer in the Genius Lab, where we help you realize your greatness. This is podcast number 11 about my book, Release Your Shit and Reclaim Your Power. Oh man, let me tell you, this is a fun one today. We want to talk about your dreams and what part of your life fits your dreams. Okay? Like when you think about the perfect life and you do your visualization, what parts of it are real? I was sitting this morning doing my visualization and I thought, okay, so, scenario, you win $100 million lottery. Well, there's certainly some things I would do to the house, but I'm not sure that I would go running out and buy a new house right now because I really like where we're at. And I imagined myself waking up as I woke up and going and getting my coffee from a really awesome coffee maker, which I have, and in a really beautiful kitchen, which we have, it's like, wow, sure, we could refinish the floors. There's some new furniture maybe we could get. But the bottom line is there's a lot of certain parts of my visualization that have already been actualized. What this does for you is when there are aspects of your life that are in alignment with your desired outcomes and your dreams, they work like a platform to stabilize the part of the dream that still needs to be created. Okay, now I've got a Mazda Miata and a CX-5 in the garage instead of a Porsche and a Jaguar SUV, but it's a start. So what parts of your life fit your dreams? And I would recommend that you take time and journal on this, because when you take it from the imaginal realm, from your mind, from your mental imagery, and you put it on paper, you're actually taking reality and bringing it into this physical dimension. Okay, now that might sound a little new agey to you guys, but hey, get the fuck over it. This is powerful stuff. This is the power of manifestation. You see it, you feel it, you believe it, and then you manifest it. And one way to manifest it is draw it. Maybe you want to draw a picture. One of the things that my the gal that does all the layout for my books and stuff does. We were talking about a workbook for this workshop that I'll be doing on Kauai and in Mount Shasta and in New Mexico and all kinds of fun places. And she said, well, not everybody writes. Some people like to draw. She's an artist. So she is looking out for the artist people. And so that's something I didn't think about. So, maybe you want to sketch your dream. What does it look like? So, or make a collage. What does it feel like? Do all kinds of texture things. I mean, there's a million ways to manifest this, but the main thing is take it from your imaginal world, take it from your imaging mind and put it on something tangible in the physical world. And it is amazing how fast the rest of the dream starts to manifest. As you acknowledge the parts of your life that are in alignment with your desired outcomes, the final product accelerates exponentially. Okay, so take your journal, do your visualization, and write down as much as you can using vision, visibility. What do you see? Emotion. What do you feel when you see it? Okay, for example, when you think about, let's just say it's a big house, or there was a gal in one of the workshops that said, I don't want a big, huge, giant, fancy thing, and I don't want millions of dollars. I would freak out trying to manage it. What I want is a little house, all paid for, a vegetable garden, and a nice new car that runs, not a Lamborghini. I want a Chevy. And I'm like, damn, you're going to manifest it really quickly. So the thing is for her is she wanted a worry-free world. She didn't want to be concerned about everything. And it's funny. The other thing that's really important is dream however you want and realize that you don't have to keep it when you get it. Okay? This is a big deal. I remember being at this metaphysical church. It was a New Thought church. Sorry, just had to get a little water there. And I remember the minister up there preaching about manifestation and empowerment and being the powerful creator and manifester that you are, and blah 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 blah. And then she ends with, but be careful what you wish for. And I thought, man, what a buzzkill. Get us all hyped up and then be careful. Why do we have to be careful? And no one has ever given me a good reason for why we shouldn't ask boldly and confidently and big, or truthfully, let's say. And some of it are the unexpected things, and certain people have stories, and this is where they fuck themselves over by asking for shit that they don't really want. And then when they get it, it causes problems, right? So, one guy that I know that made a lot of money by winning the lottery, like a freaking ton of money. And when I met him, he was broke. He had a really nice pickup truck. That was all that was left of his like $200 million. A new pickup and 3 or 4 ex-wives. He wanted to win the lottery, and he said, I won the lottery, and then, I didn't know if people loved me because they loved me or because they loved my money. Or I didn't know if people were friends with me because blah, all this stuff, right? Okay, fine. Give your money to charity and stay poor then. Or pull your head out of your ass and make a plan. Okay, there's plenty of good financial advisors out there that can go, dude, you're 64, she's 19, get a clue. Anyway, so the thing is, don't worry about what the problems that might come with your stuff. Deal with those when they come, because there might not be any, okay? If you assume there's going to be, then guess what? There will be, because we have this magnificent ability to create what it is that we want. So what you focus on, you feed. When you focus on the problems, they come. So anyway, get back to the good stuff, right? So ask for what you want, write it out, make it a story. The more creative you can be using imagery, action, and sensory words, the more powerfully the manifestation works. So write it and write it again and write it again and write it again. If you say, I have this beautiful house. Okay, well, where's the house? What color is it? How many bedrooms does it have? Do you have a recording studio in there? Got to have that. Do you have a game room with a pool table and a foosball table and maybe some cool video games? Or do you have a theater where you can watch movies? Do you have a sports room? What does it look like? How does it have a swimming pool? Does it have tennis courts? How much land is it on? Get into the details. Okay, what style is it? Is it French provincial? Is it modern? Is it like Miami Vice? Is it Cape Cod? Whatever. The deal is, get as clear as you possibly can. Okay, go deep into it. And it's really funny. I'll tell you a funny story on me, because I always tell on myself. Back in my entrepreneurial days, I had a friend whose dad owned several exotic cars. My friend owned a couple of Porsches. He had a 930 Turbo and a really beautiful restored old 1976 911 SC Targa. And but his dad had a Lamborghini Countach and a Ferrari Testarossa and an M1 BMW and a custom-built 930 and on and on. It was very interesting because I always thought I wanted that. And my entrepreneurial dream was to be rich enough to afford a Lamborghini Aventador. They're like $500,000, right? So I never manifested it. I never did it. And for whatever reason. And, I've always thought, man, I'd love to drive one, Well, I was at a client's house. And I was doing some work, some of the drumming work that I do, and we got talking about cars, and he said, go check out the garage. So I walked into his garage, and sitting in a parking spot was a brand new Lamborghini Aventador, about $400,000 worth of car. And I'm like, oh my God. I turn around and he throws me the keys. Want to drive it? Well, it was cool. It was freaking fast. It was loud. Oh my God, it was deafening. It was really, really powerful. And then as it was getting pulled into the garage, a flap opened up over the motor area unexpectedly, which resulted in an instant shutdown of the car, a call to the dealership, a home visit from the dealership, and it occurred to me, oh my God, I'm really glad I don't have one of these. My car starts every time, and I don't have to worry about ventilation flaps coming up. But basically, the about half of the day after that was devoted to getting this flap down, because he couldn't drive it with the flap not being right, because he didn't know what was wrong and how it would damage the car. I decided I don't want anything that temperamental. So sometimes we're able to manifest things that we think we want without having to pay the penalty, that whole be careful what you ask for thing. So it's been fun. You know, I've mentioned in other podcasts about my house in Hawaii. It wasn't mine, but I rented it for sometimes 4, sometimes 5 months a year for 12 years until my friends sold their house. But I got a tropical paradise without all the headaches. I just paid by the month, got to use it. It was a mile from the beach. It was a mile from Sleeping Giant. It was right next to the Wailua River. I mean, I was there like less than a mile. Anyway, the bottom line is you can manifest what you want in different ways. So think about the ways that your vision serves you. And if you're an owner type, you know, if you like having that responsibility and or you're going to be so freaking rich that you have valets take care of everything, you're totally good. But think about the fact that you can have what you want, and oftentimes you don't have to pay for it. I had an associate in Portland, Oregon during the big mortgage boom, and he was selling bundles of mortgages, billions of dollars transactions at a time. And he was in his mid-30s, and he always wanted to have a private jet, so he bought a jet. Now, I don't remember what kind he got, but he was very proud of himself. Until he realized that basically it's almost $1 million a year to moor and or lodge, or I don't know what you call it with a jet. With a boat, it's moorage. But to have a place to park it, to have a mechanic work on it, and to have a pilot fly it is almost $1 million a year. And he's like, well, shit, you know, I paid $35 million for the jet, and then on top of that, I've got all these other expenses. This is ridiculous. I don't really want to own a jet. I want to have access to a jet. So then he joined a club where he had resources for several different kinds of jets, and he bought this little credit card thing, and you pay it $250,000 at a shot, and then it's like your little garage opening car. You just book when you want to go and where you want to go. He was happy as a clam because he didn't have all these other expenses, and he didn't have things that he had to concern himself with. So think about that as you set your goals. So look at what part of your life is already connected to your dreams. Okay? What do you have, or what infrastructure do you have already built? What needs to happen in terms of what do you need to fulfill your dreams? And then what does it look like? What does it feel like? Start working on that for the next few days and let me know how it goes. Okay? It's going to be fun and empowering, and you are going to become a radical manifesting magician. And I look forward to hearing stories about it. So what I say, keep looking up.